Sawadee Kop. All right, 4-hour work week, man, back at it. So I actually ended in a little bit of an awkward place yesterday when I did the thing about being tolerable and comfortable existence, that being the most insidious. That was the first thing about making this book different. Then he goes into the second. So I probably should have read that. I should have stopped a little bit earlier about where questions like this took them. So I'm going to kind of repeat the end of yesterday to make it more coherent, cohesive, right? Little did I know where questions like these. Okay, so let me even go back one step further. How do your decisions change if retirement isn't an option? What if you could use a mini retirement to sample your deferred life plan life plan reward before working 40 years for it, or 30, or even 20? Is it really necessary to work like a slave to live like a millionaire? So those were the questions that he came up with in his lecture at Princeton, where he went to school, right? When his professor asked him to come back and talk to the class that he attended years before he built his business up. Little did I know where questions like these would take me. The uncommon conclusion: the common sense rules of the real world are a fragile collection of socially reinforced illusions. This book will teach you how to see and seize the options others do not see. What makes this book different? First, and this is where we left off yesterday, I read this part, I'm not going to spend much time on the problem. I'm going to assume you are suffering from time famine, creeping dread, or, worst case, a tolerable and comfortable existence doing something unfulfilling. The last is the most common and the most insidious, and I talked about my personal experience with that, right? Second, so that's where we're picking up today. This book is not about saving, and will not recommend you abandon your daily glass of red wine for $1 million 50 years from now. I'd rather have the wine. I won't ask you to choose between enjoyment today or money later. I believe you can have both now. The goal is fun and profit. Third, this book is not about finding your, quote, dream job. I'll take as a given that for most people, somewhere between 6 and 7 billion of them, the perfect job is the one that takes them the least time. The vast majority of people will never find a job that can be an unending source of fulfillment. So that is not the goal here. The free time and automate income is. I open each class with an explanation of the singular importance of being a deal maker. The manifesto of the deal maker is simple. Reality is negotiable. Outside of science and law, all rules can be bent or broken, and it doesn't require being unethical. The deal of deal making is also an acronym for the process of becoming a member of the new rich. The steps and strategies can be used with incredible results, whether you are an employee or an entrepreneur. Can you do everything I've done with a boss? No. Can you use the same principles to double your income, cut your hours in half, or at least double the usual vacation time? Most definitely. That sounds like it's a pretty good first step, right? So even if the entire process doesn't apply to you, you can definitely use the tips and techniques to make life better. And to me, it's all about getting better, a little bit better every day, right? Yeah, made the bed, did my wall push-ups, knee is still healing, got some hydrogen peroxide the other day to clean it out. A little bit better every day, right? Here's the step-by-step process you'll use to reinvent yourself. So when he put the deal of deal making, he put it all in capital letters, D-E-A-L, and here's the breakdown. So write it down. You're not going to remember this shit. D is for definition. Turns misguided common sense upside down and introduces the rules and objectives of the new game. It replaces self-defeating assumptions and explains concepts such as the relative wealth and eustress. That's a new word for me. E-U-S-T-R-E-S-S. Who are the new rich and how do they operate? This section explains the overall life design recipe, the fundamentals, before we add 3 ingredients. So, like you're cooking, here's your recipe, here's your how-to and your method, and then he's going to break down 3 ingredients, which are going to be E, A, and L. So E, for elimination. kills the obsolete notion of time management once and for all. It shows exactly how I use the words of an oft-forgotten Italian economist. He's talking about Pareto's law, or Pareto's principle. That's the 80-20 thing. To turn 12-hour days into 2-hour days in 48 hours. Increase your per hour result 10 times or more with counterintuitive NR, New Rich, techniques for cultivating selective ignorance, developing a low information diet, and otherwise ignoring the unimportant. This section provides the first of 3 luxury lifestyle design ingredients: time. So how do you free up more time? There's books on time management, some excellent ones I've used, the 1 Minute Manager, some others. I got some time management techniques from this book. I mean, there's out there. But what he's talking about is eliminating the unnecessary things like email and social media. How much time a day do you spend on Facebook? Be honest, right? Now, what if you were to just eliminate that? Not reduce it or manage it, like a lot of books say, but eliminate it completely. And you'd be amazed at how much time that frees up. Crap like answering emails. How many hours a day did I spend when I started the brokerage in 2016 answering emails? The answer is probably half a day. That's half a day I could have freed up for 4 years, right? So it's huge. It's huge. When you start critically looking at these time suckers, you'll be amazed at how much free time you had all along, but chose other things like Facebook and emails and Instagram and Twitter and just surfing the web and going down. I love to learn, so I spend as much time on the internet as anybody else. But games, if you're a younger guy, how many hours you spend on video games, dude? Think about it, track it in your head, start thinking. You're starting to get the picture. So it's like, is there magic in this book? What the hell, guys? 4-hour work week? Well, yeah, because you've never really thought about how much time you spend on crap that really doesn't help you towards your goals. Non-productive activities. How many hours a day do you spend on non-productive activities? If you're normal, it's a lot more than you realize. So now you start to see how the plan is unfolding, right? You start to see the angle this guy is working. So time is one of your lifestyle design or life hacking ingredients. You're going to get better at managing time by eliminating the time suckers that you're not being productive, not helping you towards your goal, not helping you towards your lifestyle. Playing a video game is not going to make you wealthy or bring you income or give you time to travel. Right? There you go. Boom, boom, boom. Cash Geeks, Dom and G. Boom. A for automation. It puts cash flow on autopilot using geographic arbitrage, outsource, which once again, that's money multiplier, right? When he says geographic arbitrage, it's the same as money multiplier. My money goes further here in Thailand. That's all that means. Big words for your money goes further overseas. Geographic arbitrage, outsourcing, delegating, outsourcing, huge. And rules of non-decision. Almost everybody uses VAs now. I mean, a lot of people are using VAs. Remember, this dude wrote this book in 2002. And he's talking about VAs, in the Philippines and India and stuff. So he was cutting edge. This was a very cutting edge idea back at the time. Now you're just like, oh, VA, sure. Yeah, my friend uses them all the time. You know what I mean? And investors especially use VAs up to Yahoo. A lot of Adam and Shannon Nemec, the couple investors in Jacksonville, they used the hell out of VAs. They were traveling around the country in an RV, and their business was being run by VAs. If you set it up right, you can do that. That's what dude is talking about here, automation. And that's just part of it too. Like I said, you have your money multiplier and you have outsourcing and rules of non-decision. So back when I was a programmer, there's something called a flow chart, and it's like, okay, you do this block of work, and then coming out of it, there's 2 decisions, yes or no, left or right, black or white, yin or yang, right? It's a binary thing, zeros and ones in computer talk, and in real life, it's going to be this way or it's going to be that way, and you're going to take 2 different paths, 2 different directions off of that decision box. It was a diamond back in the day when we used to draw flowcharts for computers. So the diamond, it comes in one way, north, 12 o'clock, right, military. 3 o'clock is no, and 6 o'clock is yes. It's going to go down or it's going to break right, one of those two, right? So that's what he talks about, rules of non-decision, is taking choke points out of your business. And the biggest one, I'm not going to do too much of a spoiler alert, but the biggest roadblock in his business was himself. Right, he had the nervous breakdown, wound up out of the business, and the business thrived because he wasn't blocking it up and choking it anymore, being a control freak like a lot of entrepreneurs are. Starting to make sense, right? The shades are lifting up. From bracketing to the routines of the ultra successful, it's all here. The section provides the second ingredient of luxury lifestyle design, income. So we've got time and we've got income. Because to live the life you want to live, while it doesn't take $1 million, it does take some money, right? So this condo I'm in here is 8,000 baht. It's $255 US. It's a ridiculously small amount of money for a luxury condo in a gated community with a gym and a big ass pool. It's still 255 bucks. Like, I need to send that 8,000 to the landlord, 8,000 baht, not dollars, every month, or I can't stay here. So while I don't need to be a millionaire, I need to have the means to pay $255 a month for this. And I went food shopping yesterday and picked up a bunch of stuff, bread, milk, eggs, and some other crap. 2,000 baht is 60 bucks, right? So 255 from the place to live, $60 for shopping. You know what I mean? There's money required, so you do need income. You just don't need nearly as much as you think you do, right? Which this book will break down for you. Third ingredient, fourth thing, DEAL. E for elimination, A for automation, L for liberation, is the mobile manifesto for the globally inclined. The concept of mini retirements is introduced, as are the means for flawless remote control and escaping the boss. Liberation is not about cheap travel. It is about forever breaking the bonds that confine you to a single location. This section delivers the third and final ingredient for luxury lifestyle design, mobility. Just because you can travel to Thailand or Costa Rica or Mexico or Belize or any other, a number of Argentina, anywhere you want to go, Europe, Italy, beautiful, Greece, love it, Holland. Just because you can go there doesn't mean you have to. But I highly recommend that you do. Your world grows the more you travel, the more you see, the more cultures you come in contact with and see how other people live, the better the quality of your life. That's been my experience for years and years and years. Traveling for the government, for work, traveling for pleasure. It's been a pleasure, and I absolutely love travel. So I thought nothing of packing my bags, putting my whole life into 2 suitcases and 4 guitars and moving to Thailand. Once again, I love it. I'm enjoying it here. I definitely will spend the rest of my life here as a hub, although I still want to travel other places. I want to see more of Southeast Asia. I do want to go to Europe again, more, but Thailand's my base, my hub now instead of America. So good stuff. I'm going to end it there. We're over the 10-minute mark, 13 minutes. Trying to keep these short, make it easy enough for you to watch every day. Today you should get excited. Today you should be pumped up because he just laid out the blueprint of how you can rework your mind and live the life that you really, really want, but haven't had the knowledge, courage, conviction, strength. Just the idea, just the ideas that he's giving you should definitely start. You should be excited. Things should be bubbling and boiling up in your brain by now. So, cool beans. I'm going to end it there. Y'all be good. Have a good one.